Hi, welcome to the Spirit Ignited podcast. My name is Liz, and today I want to talk to you about your big three. It's only going to be a short video, but I just want to give you a little bit of insight, particularly if you're not familiar with understanding your natal chart and what these three really important aspects of your natal chart mean and how they express different parts of your personality. So let's begin with the most well-known aspect of astrology, which is the sun. And the sun is also known as your star sign. You will know this sign based on the day that you were born. It's really easy. You'll probably already be familiar with it. But when we actually find out what our natal chart looks like and what the aspects of our natal chart are based on the exact day, time and place that you were born, you will find out a little bit more to your sun sign. So the sun in astrology represents our conscious self. It's how we shine in the world. It's how we shine our energy outwards. It's how we want to be seen, how we want to show up. And it's all about self-expression. In astrology, they say that it is the core of who you are. It's the true you. It's what really matters to you, what you really deeply value based on how you are showing up. So, for example, I am a sun in Leo. The sun is, of course, in a really good position when it's in its home sign, which is Leo, which means that I will naturally be able to express the qualities of the sun. It comes easy for me to be center stage, to feel full of vitality, to have energy, to take action. But for example, the sun in a sign like Aquarius, which is its opposing sign, it's actually at a detriment in this energy. So it means that the energy can't express itself very well here, which means that those who are Aquarians, who have their sun sign in Aquarius, you will find that expressing yourself doesn't actually come very easy to you, particularly in terms of communicating what you want to say, trying to take center stage, trying to be seen for who you are. There's almost this kind of block with actually expressing who you are when you have the sun in Aquarius. So that's just an example of how the sun can show itself in those two signs. But what will add another layer to your personality is finding out what house the sun falls into. So for example, I'll use myself. My sun falls into the sixth house. Sixth house is the house of is the house that is ruled by Virgo. Now, this house is what the houses are in astrology are life areas. So this house rules work, service, and health, which means that because my sun has fell into this house in my chart, this adds another layer to my core personality. And because the sun represents our identity and who we really are and what we need to gain a sense of fulfillment, because the sun falls into sixth house here, I'm a sun in Leo, but it falls into sixth house. The sign represents how, the house represents where, which means that I naturally want to express my Leo energy in my house of work, service, and health, which means that I naturally want to shine my light in the work that I do. I naturally want to be of service in a very sunny kind of way. So I want to really express myself through the work that I do and of being of service. And also my health is really, really important to me. And I gain a sense of fulfillment by working on my health goals, by working and being of service to my community. So that's an insight into how you can gain another layer of insight into your personality based on the house that your sun falls into. Now let's talk about the other aspects that I mentioned earlier, which is your rising sign, also known as ascendant, and your moon sign. So your ascendant sign is what they would describe as, what astrologers describe it as, is the mask that you wear. So this is how you show up when you don't really know someone. So this is kind of like when you show up to a party and you don't really know anyone and you kind of on your guard, you're a little bit holding back, you will express yourself through your rising sign. For example, I'll use myself. I am an Aquarius rising. So when people get to know me, when people first meet me, they might find I'm a little bit standoffish, a little bit reserved, keeping myself to myself. and they don't fully feel like they connect to me straight away. I'm not really expressing myself in that moment. I'm not saying this is who I am, let's connect, let's open up. I'm kind of holding back a little bit. I'm being more cautious, I'm being more guarded. But then once we start to get into a conversation at this party and we start to connect and open up, they will start to feel my Leo energy coming through. So the the rising sign, the ascendant, is the mask that you wear. Sorry if I've just knocked the microphone. My partner set this up and he will be going mad that I've just knocked that again. Okay, so it is the mask that you wear. Now, also another important aspect of your rising sign is that this sign can be how you want to express your purpose. So for example, like I said, mine is Aquarius. So Aquarius is very much about humanity and really concerned about the collective and how we connect as one, and how humanity, the welfare of humanity. So in terms of my purpose, I am very driven to ensure that my work, the sixth house that I was mentioning earlier, my work and service is having an impact on humanity as a whole. And that I am making sure that my work is impacting the whole because of my Aquarius rising. Now, another really important aspect of your rising sign is that it also reveals what your planetary ruler is of your whole chart. So for example, I'm going to use me as an example. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. So in the old astrology, it was Saturn. In the new astrology, it's Uranus. So we do look at both of these planets. So my entire chart has an overall energy of Saturn and Uranus. These are two contradictory planets, which means that I can flip between being really hardworking, very serious, quite restrictive and strict with myself and others, to Uranus energy, which is impulsive, it's erratic, it's restless, it's straight to the mark, it's acting really quickly and doing things off the cuff. So people will feel this from me. And also with the planetary ruler, why it's important is because your planetary ruler will reveal what kind of energy you put into your life as a whole. So that's why your rising sign is really, really important, and you do need to know the exact place and time you were born to uncover your rising sign. Okay, let's talk about the moon sign. So your moon sign is a representation of what goes on when you're alone. This is your private world. This is your emotional world, and this is what you need in order to feel safe, nurtured, and also a sense of emotional fulfillment and emotional satisfaction. So mine is Libra. So this means that in a private space, I really crave peace and harmony. So in my home environment, I need peace, I need harmony. I also like to create a beautiful space. So I like to bring in real feminine aspects like candles and flowers and crystals to make myself feel nurtured and make myself feel emotionally fulfilled. Now, Libra is an air sign, so I need lots of interaction, lots of communication, particularly on a one-to-one basis to make myself feel emotionally fulfilled and satisfied. And Libra is also the sign of partnerships. So for me, I feel the best emotionally and the most secure when in a partnership. So this, as you can see, I've used my three signs to reveal how different you are as a person, how complex you can be as a person, and how you can use your natal chart to understand why you can be so different in a relationship compared to who you are when you're in public, why you're so driven to succeed in work, or why you want to be at home so much. These three main aspects of your chart will reveal this. Now, I haven't mentioned that the ascendant sign, your rising sign, doesn't have a house, as in it doesn't fall into any other house, because it's always in the first house, because the first house represents how you portray yourself, your self-image in the eyes of others. So it's always your first house. It basically represents your first house. But your moon sign can fall into a house. Mine falls into 7th house, which is the house of Libra anyway. So it just emphasizes this aspect of me that I deeply need this Libra energy in order to feel emotionally fulfilled. Now let's use a different analogy. Let's say it's a Libra moon, but it falls into ninth house. Okay. So you're a Libra moon, which means that you still need all of that peace and harmony, communication, um, partnership, one-on-one partnerships, but it's fallen into your ninth house. This adds another layer. This means that you want to express your emotional world through these energies of partnership, beauty all around you, peace and harmony, but you also have a deep emotional craving for learning, education. This is the aspects of the ninth house: travel, growing yourself, changing your beliefs, and constantly improving and advancing yourself. But you like to do this with a partner. You like to do this in a way that helps you to stimulate your mind because of the air sign, and also you like to communicate this with people who are close to you on a one-to-one basis. So you can really see how these can express themselves, these signs, and how it adds so many different layers to your personality. So that is my insight into your big three: your sun, your moon, and your rising, and how they will show up in all different scenarios based on how well you know people, whether you're at home in your comfortable, safe space or whether you're out there in the world. Thank you for listening. I will be doing so many more of these videos about different aspects of astrology, the natal chart, things that are happening at the moment currently, and how you can use your natal chart to understand yourself more and to really know who you are and be able to understand what matters to you, but also be able to express that to people who are closer to you so that you can develop more harmonious relationships. You can also use your chart to understand and discover your purpose, and also find out what wounds might need healing in this lifetime. I have so many offerings for you, so I can actually give you a personal interpretation of your astrology chart face to face, or a written interpretation, or both. You can join my moon rituals, which are held virtually on every new and full moon. And I always refer to your natal chart so that you can personally see how the moon is affecting you. And I do healing retreats in Glastonbury. So if you're interested in any of that, please do get in touch. Thank you for listening, and I will speak to you soon.